What's up, everybody? This is Dhruv Padhi. Welcome to Food Journals. So, the topic of today's video is, can Barca really come back after the draw at their home? Can they beat Inter at San Siro? Well, it's a tricky question, but let's look into it. The answer might lie in flipping the same tactical weapon Inter used against them, that is, a wide play. In the first leg, if you all noticed, Inter overloaded their right side of the attack. But why did this happen? Because Inter is a team who plays transitional football. Transitional in the sense you won't know when they enter your box and when they score on you. Like in 2 3 passes, they may reach your box. Well, they are a team who carry their transitions from their wing backs. But what happened in the first leg was Inter couldn't transition from their left because DiMarco, who is their left back, was forced to double mark Lamine Yamal, who drifted wide and was a constant threat. Him running would have created space for Lamine and was too risky. So basically, Inter's left side was locked. Whereas on the right, Rafinha is the kind of player who naturally drifts inside as a second striker. And due to him not tracking back, there was space left for Dumfries and their centre mid Barella to function and eventually build a 2v1 advantage over Gerard Martin. That's why Inter's most attacks came from the right, including their first goal, which was a good goal by the way. Secondly, Inter is too strong aerially, winning a ridiculous 78% of the aerial duels. This is what helped them score their second and third goal by being aerially strong. So, how could Barca counter this and turn Inter on the disadvantage? Well, the idea is to mirror the same approach as Lamine on the right flank. If Balde returns well and good, it could benefit Barca massively as he takes on defenders directly and will help hold on the width. But in case he's not available, Rafinha has to stay high and wide himself, directly take on Dumfries and force him to stay back. This forces Inter's midfield to shift wide in support, like Mkhitaryan was forced to double down to help DiMarco against Yamal. So maybe Barella will shift wide to him and help him against Balde and Rafinha. Who knows? But this is where Pedri wins. As Inter's midfield is stretched wide, it automatically creates more space centrally. Therefore, Pedri can draw between the lines much easily and either thread passes or make late runs into the box, resulting in more scoring chances. Well, sounds good, right? But for this to work, overlapping runs by Barca's left back will be very important for a man advantage. Therefore, if Balde is not available, Hector Fort has to start. Yes, a bit risky, but Flick's entire system runs on the basis of risk for reward. Well, that's that. Coming to the aerial duels, how can Barca counter it? Well, let's start with this. Barca lacks aerial strong players from a long time. Well, we have to use whatever kind of players we have. Therefore, I want either Christensen or Arau to start. It still doesn't take away Inter's aerial advantage, but due to them being aerially good, it would reduce their advantage by a slight margin. Well, by these tactics, Barca might hold a slight advantage over Inter, but given Inter is a team who are known for quick adaptation, plus the match being in San Siro, which has a killer atmosphere, it could go either way. Well, I am a Barca fan, I root for Barca. Comment down below your thoughts of what could happen in leg 2. Hope you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe. Visca Barca, Visca Catalonia. Peace out.